Today I'm going to show you how to cook my best baked beans, my best baked bean recipe. So in order to do this recipe, you will need some beans. I prefer the Van Camp pork and beans, and I use two cans of the Van Camp pork and beans. You need some pre-browned ground meat, some barbecue sauce, whatever type of barbecue sauce you prefer, and some brown sugar. It doesn't matter if it's light or dark brown sugar. It's only by your preference if you prefer it to be light or darker, whichever one you choose. And well, actually the first step should be to turn your oven on, and we're going to turn the temperature on about 350 degrees so that it can preheat as you brown your ground meat. The ground meat is going to be the second thing that you do once you get your oven preheated. Brown your ground meat, but I have already done that earlier. The next thing that we're going to do is select the pan that you want to use. I'm using this glass pan by Pyrex. It's a 2.2 quart pan, and I have already opened my beans, and I'm just gonna pour the excess liquid. It has a little liquid in here, but since we're gonna add barbecue sauce, you don't want all that liquid. So what I'm gonna do is pour the excess liquid off into the sink. The next thing that you do is you take your can of beans and you dump it into your pan. I'm going to use the spoon to spoon the rest of them out. They kind of stick a little when you pour the liquid out of them. The next step will be to take your barbecue sauce and just pour some, about 3/4 of a cup of barbecue sauce. You would pour it into your beans, and you mix them up, and you'll see the beans begin to darken up. And once they're good and blended, you take your brown sugar and you add about 3 to 4 tablespoons. You can add a little more or less depending on your taste. And you take that and you mix it in. You mix in your brown sugar. Okay, that's mixed in pretty well. And your last step would be to add the ground meat, and be sure that you drain the ground meat before you add it, because you don't want all of that grease getting into your mixture. and you mix that in. And when it is evenly mixed, I'm going to add a little more barbecue sauce because I like for mine to be a little darker. So I add a couple more teaspoons of barbecue sauce. Alright, and now I just smooth the pan evenly. And your mixture should look like so. The next step will be to place your beans in the oven. You bake your beans on 350 for about 25-35 minutes until they're bubbly. You'll know they're done when they're all bubbly on the inside. Okay, we're going to check on our baked beans. If you look closely at the beans, you can see that they are bubbling up. This bubbling up that you see means that they're done. So I'm going to remove them from the oven.